Good day everyone. So this is lecture vlog. Kasama ang inyong likod, si Sir Jade. So lecture for today, this is for Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management, especially to all the freshman BSTM students, or para sa inyo po itong lecture na ito. Basically, my lecture for today, this is for the subject of Macroperspective in Tourism and Hospitality. So I hope all of the tourism students in the Philippines, please watch this vlog and you will learn a lot regarding the basic concepts of tourism. Okay, so but before that, kindly like, share, and subscribe my YouTube channel, which is Jadefortis Pulongbarit. So yun, so paki-like na lang po, of course share, and of course you will learn in this online session.
2,000 years later.
So this is an introduction to tourism. Okay, so by the way, let's start our discussion. So here in our online session, so I'm going to discuss first the definition of tourism based on the United Nations World Tourism Organization, and I'm going to explain that. And then based on that definition, what are the characteristics of tourism? And then later on, I will discuss also the basic forms with examples. And then, of course, I'm going to explain later the meaning of travel and its element. And of course, identify the meaning of tourist destination and its basic factors. Okay, so welcome to BS Tourism Management. Welcome to Tourism and Hospitality Industry. Okay, to all of the BS Tourism Management, welcome to this magandang kurso. Magandang kurso. Anyway, are you ready? So all of the tourism students in the Philippines, are you ready? I hope you are ready. Because if you are tourism, you are always ready. Okay. Okay, so all of these words are related in tourism. So the big one is tourism. Okay, and then the second, ito yung pinaka-pangalawang malaking letter dito, travel. Because pag walang travel, walang tourism. Pag walang nagta-travel, paano magkakaroon ng tourism? Kapag mga walang tourist arrival, paano magkakaroon ng mga hotels, paano magkakaroon ng mga tours kung wala namang bumibisita. So it is very important thing in business yung may mga nagta-travel here in tourism. Okay, so that's itong dalawang ito talagang ito yung pinaka-link, ito yung linkage talaga ito sa bawat isa. Okay, pag walang si travel, of course walang tourism. And of course, all of these, the adventure, the cruise vacation, the hotel, all of that are under the umbrella of tourism. Yan, lahat yan, under yan na sectors ng tourism. So, meaning, napakalawak ng industry natin, napakalawak ng industry na ito. So, hindi kayo nagkamali sa pagpili. Okay. At ito po, yan, lahat yan. So, basically, kung mapapansin ninyo, may resort, may beach, may sea, may vacation, may recreational. So those are the motivation, or I mean, these are the purpose of travel. So they're traveling for recreation, they're traveling for nature-based, they're traveling for 3S tourism, which is the sand, and sea. So those are called adjectival tourism based on the niche market. Okay, kung saan ang niche market, ano yung purpose ng travel mo. So, lahat yan ay under yan ng tourism sector. Okay? So, what is tourism? Okay. So, to all of audience of this online session, kindly comment below here. Okay? Kindly comment here, what is tourism based on your understanding? For you, what is the best definition of tourism? Okay, so when we talk about tourism, ayan, based on United Nations World Tourism Organization, UNWTO. Because the World Tourism Organization, or the UNWTO, it is the specialized agency of the United Nations. And then here, there's no uh, universal acceptable definition of tourism. Wala talagang universal acceptable. But meron pong standard definition which is given by our chief organization, which is the UNWTO. So they were defining the tourism, and it is very important na all of you tourism, please memorize this, because if you are tourism, the you should memorize the definition of your course. That's important thing. Dapat memorize nyo ito using your kokoro, using your heart. Okay, please memorize this, okay? Because it is your course, di ba? Kung ang course mo computer science, dapat alam mo definition nun. Kung ang course mo nursing, dapat alam mo definition nun. Dapat alam mo kung ano yung pinapasok mong industriya. That's important thing. So here in tourism, dapat alam nyo ang definition. So when you talk about tourism, it is defined as the activities of person traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment for not more than one consecutive year for leisure, business, and other purposes. So yan. So kindly memorize. Try to read. Yan. That's the definition. Okay? It is based on the actually, when you talk about UNWTO kasi, ito yung pinaka-chief organization sa lahat ng mga tourism organization all over the world. This is number one chief organization in lahat yan. And then may mga regional organization up to the national organization. Ito yung pinaka-international. Ito yung number one na nagpaplano at nagpa-market ng tourism worldwide. At yan din ang kumukuha ng tourism rankings for the best top arrivals destinations all over the world. Of course, the UNWTO, sila ang number one dyan because they're the first one to plan. Hindi sila din nag-iisip ng mga plano. Example, during pandemic, anong gagawin sa tourism industry? Number one, which is the UNWTO. By the way, ang pinaka-head ng UNWTO is Secretary General, which is ang Secretary General ngayon ay si Zurab Pololikashvili. Pololikashvili. So, siya yung UNWTO Secretary General ngayon. Okay, so siya yung pinaka-head ngayon ng UNWTO. So, the tourism, yan, I told you the course already. So, I'm going to explain it using the WH question. Okay, pag sinabi niyo yung WH question, these are the what, who, how, where, when, and why. Okay, so first, tourism is what? Okay, what is tourism? Number one, it is a broad. What broad? Broad activities, broad industry, napakalawak. It includes business and other activities or leisure activities, all about activities. Tourism is all about activities. Pag walang activity, walang income. So pag ibig sabihin walang income and wala ding impacts because tourism has an impact. It may be in environment, in economic, or in socio-cultural. So that's our impact side. Diba? Pag may activity ang isang tourist, isang destination, may impacts. Mapa-positive or mapa-negative. It's broad ang industry. Broad. So pag broad, of course, ang daming mga opportunity. So sabi nga before ng former secretary ng DOT na si Joseph H. Durano, pag maraming turismo, maraming trabaho, maraming activities. It gives economic generation or economic benefits to the destination. So it gives jobs. Okay, maraming pera yan. So it's a broad activity. Okay, it includes business activities such as conventions, such as business meetings, and so on, or MICE, or pwedeng leisure activities so like penlanking, cave exploration, and other activities based on the purpose of the travel. So all about activities. Also, it includes the activities of those who serve tourists, such as in travel agency, in airlines, in cruise lines, hotel, restaurants, and shops. So those are the pillars of the tourism industry or the tourism. Those are the pillars or the sectors. So yan ang Okay, the travel agent, the airlines, cruise, those are under the umbrella. So especially the hospitality, the hotel and resort, it's also under the umbrella of the tourism activities. Okay? Yan. So, tourism, so pag may activity, sites and destination, meaning magkakaroon ng mga trabaho ang mga community. Okay? It's all about activities. It is a broad industry. Okay? Who? By who? Who are engaged uh, in this industry? Of course, visitors. When we talk about visitors, all travelers who are engaged in tourism. Lahat ng mga travelers na engaged sa tourism. So it may be a domestic or an international visitors. So example ako, I'm from Manila going to Cebu. I am considered as domestic visitor within the Philippines. Example, um, international visitors. Okay, so examples, mga Chinese visitors here, going here in the Philippines, they're considered as international visitors. Example, mga Japanese tourists going here in Manila. So this considers international visitors. So both of them may be a tourist or an excursionist. Pag sinabi niyo pong turista, kasi there are two types of visitors. So both of them are domestic visitors, domestic or international visitors, and under of these may be tourists or an excursionist. So pag tourist, uh, they are staying at least 24 hours, okay, but not more than but less than 1 year or 365 days. They are considered as tourists. Okay, so they are also known as the overnight visitors. Okay, pag sinabi niyo namang excursionist, they are also known as the same day visitor or tinatawag na day tourist. Example, yung mga nagpi-field trip na going from Manila going to Laguna, visiting those factories there. Okay, such as yung Nissan Mond, okay, or example from Manila going to Cavite, visiting Aguinaldo Shrine. So, tapos uuwi din agad. So, that's called excursion. Or yung mga nagbibisit ng iglesia during mahal na araw and then uuwi agad. These are excursions. So, pwede rin po international excursion, lalo na sa mga bordering country. Example, I'm from Kuala Lumpur, then I'm going to visit Singapore. And then, pag kinagabihan, balik agad ako sa Kuala Lumpur. So, pwede po yun. Yun po ay consider as an excursionist. Yun. So, I hope you will learn from this. Pero hindi pa po natatapos dito. Nagsisimula pa lang tayo. So, lahat yan ay visitors. So, pag may nakita kayong nagtitinda, yun ay hindi visitors. Yun ay host community. O yun ay community. Okay? Ano pa? Kung may nakita kayo dyan nagtutour guide, yun ay host ng lugar na yan. Pero yung mga nagpipicture dyan, yung mga namamasyal, yung mga yung mga nag-o-observe yan sa Macau, yan, that's considered a visitor. O, ayan, katulad dyan. In Great Wall of China, grabe. Actually, expectation nyo, walang laman yan. Talagang Great Wall lang yan. But in reality, because ang dami din bumibisita dito sa China, actually more on domestic visitors to from other provinces going here in Great Wall of China. So yun, kasi nga lalo na nung nagkaroon ng naging COVID-free na sila, ayan, namasyal na sila, din ganyan ka-congested na naman, nagkaroon na naman ng over tourism. So yan, those are considered domestic posting. Kung makikita niyo mukhang Chinoy domestic yan, pero pag nakita kayo ng mga mukhang Korean, Pinoy, yun. Pero syempre, normally, because of what happened nga, because of the COVID-19 crisis. So maybe, nabawasan yung talagang ang laki ng bawas. Maraming syempre nagkaroon ng fear of travel here in China. Syempre, because dyan nga nag-start yung COVID-19. Okay, yung coronavirus. Okay. So mostly, ang mga visitors na dyan ay domestic visitors. And how? By travel by travel and stay or traveling. Kasi di ba based on the definition, it is the activities, person, traveling to and staying. So next element, based on this, so how by travel and stay. So there are two basic elements of tourism dahil dyan, dynamic element and static element. So what's the difference between dynamic element and static element? So when you talk about dynamic element, the travelers going to a destination by riding or by using any mode of transportation going. So, yung tinatag na accessibility. So, pupunta siya sa isang destination, sakay ng any mode of transportation. Example, I'm going to visit South Korea. Siyempre, sasakay ako ng aeroplano papunta doon. And then doon sa Korea, para makapasyal ako sa mga attractions doon, I'm going to ride any available transportation there. Okay, such as taxi, such as para mabisita ko yung mga different. That's dynamic element. And of course, when you talk about static, from the word itself, to stay static, okay, of course, after you visit the destination, you should stay or you should check in the any forms of accommodation na available doon sa destination, such as example, kung sa Japan meron doon mga capsule hotel, yun doon kayo magstay. Doon sa Tokyo, ang daming mga capsule hotel doon. Kailangan yon. Bakit nga ba kailangan? Yun yung rules ng tourism. Kasi number one, it's all about tourism. It's all about not only visiting but also spending of money of tourists. Kasi doon sa pag-spend ng money ng turista or ng visitors, doon nagkakaroon ng income ang destination. So, hindi naman to po pwede. Example, taga Manila ko, tapos mamamasyal ako sa usual residence ko. Hindi pa pwede yun. Okay? So, kailangan outside of your place. Okay, so I'm going to explain that later. So, of course, kumikita yung transportation sector and then, of course, the accommodation sector doon sa ginagastos ko. That's the multiplier effect. So, yun yung, so marami yan yung nakakatulong para pasoldaan nila yung mga empleyado nila, para bayaran yung kuryente, tax, and so on. So, those nakaka-contribute ang mga turista sa economic growth ng isang destination. So, that's dynamic and static element. Because of the travel and stay, they're riding transportation and staying in accommodation. So, because of that, nag-generate ng income dun sa economic activity ng destination. So, yun. So, here, yan, it's all about, this is the dynamic element, yan. So, you can ride a bus. Example, you're going to Ilocos. Yan, sakay ka ng bus. Example, train. Dito, LRT. Sa ibang bansa, example, kung ano yung mga... sa ibang bansa, example, sa Malaysia, going to Singapore, bordering country. So, ma-access mo yung Singapore by riding a train. Pwede na. And of course, hot air balloon, kung may mga hot air balloon pa. Kasi normally, mga hot air balloon yung pang recreational activity. So, sa ibang bansa na lang po, pero napakamahal niyan. Kasi, yan talagang professional yung nagmamanage yung ganyang klaseng, yung hot air ballooning na kinds of transportation. And of course, the air transport. And of course, cruise ship and so on. And of course, bakit? Natutulog eh. Yan. Natutulog na eh. Kasi nakastay sa accommodation. Tulog oh. Ayan. Anong oras na ba ngayon? It's already gabi na po. May natutulog na. Ayan, natutulog. Ano kaya, alam mo, ang purpose niya for business. Kaya nakapolo. Nakaporma na, naka-long sleeve. Itong maganda dito, no? Itong maganda dito. Kung mapapansin niyo nakatakip na yung yung mata. Pagising niya, baka yan na rin yung face niya. I'm just joking. Okay, so yun na rin yung face mas diretso na sa meeting up pagising niya. So that's all about yun yung tinatag na static elements of pag-stay sa isang accommodation. Okay, so where outside the usual environment. So you're going to visit visiting and spending money in places outside the usual environment. So outside your usual environment. So kailangan labas ng ng barangay mo, labas ng usual residence kung saan ka nagtatrabaho, kung saan ka normally live and work, and then going to other destination. So that's a rule of tourism. So katulad niyan, sa bahay mo ba may ganyan? Swerte mo kung ganyan ka natira sa Maldives, that's your usual residence. Siyempre, ibang environment na po yan. So ibang environment na po na, and then they're earning incomes sa mga turista. Okay, so when? For not more than one consecutive year. Meaning at least 24 hours. So you can gawin mo na lahat at least 24, but not more than 365 days in visiting destination. So I told you na wala naman talagang universal definition. Talagang dami kasing definitions ng tourism talaga naglabasan. Ang daming definitions. But may mga places kasi na 2 years acceptable pa rin as tourist. Na consider pa rin as tourist. But this is the main rule because of the UNWTO standard. So you can travel. You can enjoy a selfie or mag-picture ka or your an Instagrammable photo. Yan, katulad yan. Basta hindi ka lalagpas ng 365 days. Okay, or you can enjoy the El Nido Palawan. Okay, yan, mag-ano ka, what do you call this? Snorkeling ka. Okay. So why? For leisure, business, and other purposes. So when you talk about leisure, this is how you're going to use your free time. This is the usage of your free time. Kasi, di ba, galing ka sa work, stress ka, buong weekend, tapos nagkaroon ng holiday, so doon ka nakapag-travel. So that's your free time. How are you going to use that and how are you going to enjoy to relieve your stress, to recreate yourself, to refresh. So it's all about leisure activity. So in the tourism, maraming mga leisure activity. That's yun yung mga recreational. Okay, so those are maraming example. Example yan, the cave exploration, like visiting the 7 wonders of nature in the Philippines, which is the Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park. So yan, pwedeng cave boating or cave exploration or pwede kang umakyat ng bundok. Those are leisure recreation, leisure travel. Okay, and then business. When you talk about business, yun for like this, like meetings, attending meetings, or meeting business conferences. So those are bakit nagta-travel yung isang tourist and other purposes. So ano pa yung mga purposes na yun? So ang dami. Yan, so pwedeng attending concerts, such as yan, attending concerts. Kung ang purpose mo talaga to entertain, yan, that's the best example. Yan, attending concerts, or for para ma-relieve stress mo, yan, for magpaspa ka, that's called health tourism. Health tourism activities. Okay, marami yan. Dito sa Pilipinas, mga spa destination. Okay, and then this one, ano kaya ito? This is called honeymoons, for couples. So they are traveling, the purpose nila to honeymoon. Example, sa Maldives, sa France, the City of Love, and so on. Or in Amanpulo, Palawan. Yan. Next, for educational purposes, like such as yung mga immersions or mga educational tours, so on. Okay. So review activity tayo. So please write your comments. What is tourism? Who are engaged in tourism? How it is? Where? When? And why? So kindly answer. Comment below. Okay. So these are the other definition of tourism. So when you talk about tourism, this is a major oversight for the interaction between visitors. It's all of not only visiting the destination, but also nagkakaroon po ng interaction yung visitor and host, which is yung visitor, they are the guests, considered as guests, and then yung host, sila yung community. So nagkakaroon sila ng interaction. Okay, maybe example, yung community, pwede siyang isang tour guide, or pwede siyang nag-work sa isang hotel. So that's a primary focus on basic on anthropological research and commercialized or industrial nature on contemporary tourism is widely recognized. So for a commercial tourism or industrial tourism, so this is all about interaction between the host and the guest, or the host and the visitor. So this is the major oversight of tourism. Okay, so and then based on the Tourism Society in Britain, so actually itong definition na to nalalapit ito sa definition ng UNWTO because it's all about temporary short-term movement of people to destination outside the place where they normally live and work and their activities during their stay at this destination. So if you have some questions, don't hesitate to ask me by comment below. I'm going to answer that dyan sa magko-comment din po ako. Okay, and then subscribe my channel. Okay, next, let's proceed to the basic forms of tourism. So according to UNWTO, or United Nations World Tourism Organization. So domestic tourism, it involves residents of a country traveling only within the country. So it involves residents of the Philippines traveling within this country or within the Philippines. So yan. So example, the businessman from Cebu going to the city of Manila. So, di ba, from ano siya, from Central Visayas going here in National Capital Region. So, both Philippines yun. It's a Philippine travel. So, that is a domestic tourism. And then the BS tourism student or BSTM students from Manila going to Ilocos region for educational tour. So, from Manila in NCR to Region 1, it is a domestic tourism because they are residing or they are the residents from Manila going to visit a Ilocos region, okay, or an Ilocos region. Okay, three types of domestic tourism. First one, interregional. Interregional, the traveler moves from one region to another. So, magkaibang region. For example, from Manila, you are resident of Manila going to Cebu. So, NCR, going to Region 7. So, example, kung dito ka galing ka ng Luneta, resident ka ng Manila, and then, visit ka sa Mactan Island. Yeah, that is considered as interregion because you're from National Capital Region visiting or going to Region 7, which is the Central Visayas region, Cebu. Intra-regional, the traveler moves from one province to another within one specific region. So you're from one province to then going to another province of one. Doon ka sa loob ng isang region. So example, if you're resident of Cebu going to Bohol. So both of these, Cebu and Bohol, are Region 7 or called Central Visayas region. So example, galing ka sa Lapu-Lapu City, yan, and then visiting a Lobok River. Wow, that is a intra-region because under yan ng isang region. So example, Manila to Parañaque. So from city of Manila to Parañaque, it is considered as intra-regional. Example, from Ilocos Norte to Ilocos Sur, it is considered intra-regional. So local, the traveler is often classified as an excursionist because of the assumption that he or she will not to stay between 24 hours in his her destination, which is always within his or her province. So inside the the province. So normally, depende naman kasi ito local traveler, paano kung natulog siya doon? Depende po yan. So, yun yung pinaka-assumption na, basic assumption ng definition nito. Pero normally, pwede ka na matulog. Example, from Basi Summer, tapos matutulog ka sa Katbalog, walang problema yun. Tourist ka sa Katbalogan, you're still a local traveler. Okay? So, from Basay Summer, in Basay, so famous for Sohotan Cave, and then to Katbalogan Summer. Yan. So both of these under province of Samar. Okay, so it is considered as a local travel. So example, you're from Quezon Avenue in Quezon City, and then you're going to Cubao. So both of these under or found in the city of in the Quezon City. So consider as local traveler. Practice activity tayo. Okay? So your answer, kindly comment below. So here, going here. Saan kaya to? So this is a hanging coffins in Sagada, and then visiting and then going to example in Banawe. Example, you are from residents of Mountain Province to Ifugao. So answer is intra-regional because these are located in Car region. Okay? Intra-regional yan, under yan ng one province. Kasi example, kung resident ka ng Sagada in Mountain Province, and then you're visiting Banawe Resort, so under ka ng isang region. So, Mountain Province to Ifugao. Okay? So, yun. Banawe Resort, by the way, it's an 8 wonders of the world. Yan. This one. This is LPP Chea to Baclaran Church. So, LPP Chea is Las Piñas, Parañaque critical habitat and ecotourism areas. And then visiting the most visited church or most attended church in Asia, which is the Baclaran Church. So from LPP Chea to Baclaran, depende Pero kung kung taga Donggalo, ka example na lang, to Donggalo, and then you're going to Baclaran, you are under local because both found in Parañaque City. Next, sa example, the ruins, and then saan ba yung ruins? So sa Negros Occidental in Talisay City, and then visiting a in Bohol. Example in Carmen, Talisay City to Carmen, Bohol. So yan. So example, you're a resident of Negros Occidental to Bohol. It is interregional because Western Visayas yung Negros Occidental, and then visiting Central Visayas region. Okay? Okay, inbound tourism, it involves non-residents traveling in a country. So, ayan. So, pag inbound naman, pag sinabi mong inbound naman, so, non-residents traveling in, example, from other country, example, Korean, going here in the Philippines. So, they are considered as inbound kasi inbound here, papasok. So, example, from Tokyo, Japan, residents from Tokyo, Japan, going here in Manila, Philippines. So, example, taga-Akihabara siya, taga-Akihabara district of Tokyo. So, visiting, pupunta ng Chinatown. So, consider as inbound tourism po yan. Kasi resident siya ng Japan, going here in Manila. And then, outbound tourism. So, ito baliktad naman po. It's a vice versa. It involves residents of a Philippines traveling to other country. Example ako, from Manila, Philippines ako, going to Seoul, Korea. Example, I live in Intramuros, one of the residents in Intramuros, and then I'm going to visit a Seoul, South Korea. Wow. Gabi na kasi pag may ako doon, gabi na. So, yun. So, internal tourism. So, the other three tourism, the internal, national, and international, these are all about combining forms of the first three forms. So, here, international tourism, combination of inbound tourism and domestic tourism, meaning you're going to combine the two forms of tourism, the two basic forms, yung inbound and domestic. So, example, first, apply the inbound. So, example, residents muna. Residents ng Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, bumisita sa Manila and then pumunta ng Tagbilaran. So example, because of the namasyal muna sa Manila and then nagpunta ng Tagbilaran City Bohol. So the application of the two forms, which is the inbound and tourism. So ayan, so galing siya ng Kuala Lumpur, yan, the famous for Petronas Tower, and then visiting, example, in Malate. And then after tour in Manila, yan, pumunta na ng Tagbilaran City, Bohol. Okay, next, national tourism. It's combination of domestic tourism and outbound tourism. Actually, baliktad ito. Nagbaliktad ko. So, combination of outbound tourism and domestic. So, baliktad po ito. So, first ako, baliktad po ito, combination of outbound tourism and domestic tourism. So, example ako, I'm the residents here in Quezon City, example in the Quezon City going to Tokyo, Japan, and then after experiencing all the activities in Akihabara, bumisita ko sa Sapporo. So Sapporo, Japan in Hokkaido. Yan. So example, yan. So yan, example sa Centris. Malapit ka sa taga Quezon Avenue ka, yan, kilala, yan, magandang attraction po yung Centris sa may Quezon Avenue. Maraming kainan, may entertainment destination in Quezon City. And then visiting Shibuya, yan, which is na-feature sa Sid and Aya dun sa movie ni Dingdong Dantes and Ann Curtis na feature yung She Did Not Tokyo. And then, of course, going to Sapporo in Hokkaido, which is yung Hokkaido, yun yung pinaka-northernmost prefecture and the second largest among the 5 islands of Japan after Honshu. Yun yung, kasi yung Honshu yung pinakamaliit. Yan. So, yan, example. Yan ang, so galing ka ng example, Quezon Avenue, then lumipad ka going to Shibuya, Tokyo in Shibuya, and then visiting Hokkaido. That's a national tourism. International tourism, eto kasi, pag sinabi mo international, combination of inbound or maybe consists of inbound and outbound tourism. So, pwede kang inbound or outbound. So, example, ako pupunta ko sa Italy. I'm considered as international visitors of Italy. Example, yung mga Italian going here in the Philippines. So, they're considered as international visitors of the Philippines. So, it's subdivided into two, maybe a long haul or short haul. So, example, kung long haul, travel which involves long distance. So between continents, for example, from Manila under Asia and then going to Italy, European country na po 'yon. Okay? So 1,000 miles and then yung lagpas 4 hours na talagang iba doon connecting flight na. Okay, that's long haul travel. Pag sinabi mo naman short haul, travel between countries, example from Manila going to Hong Kong. So both of these are Asian country. Okay, so involve shorter distance or travel time, mga hanggang 4 hours na yung pinakamatagal niya. So from inside Asian country lang, example Manila to Thailand, Manila to Bangkok, Manila to Jakarta, Manila to Denpasar in Bali, yan yung mga best example. So 250 to 1,000 miles yung kanyang travel, okay? So, what is travel?
2 hours later.
So, travel, it is the movement of person from one place to another or between distant geographical location. So, pag sinabi mong travel kasi, yung simpleng paglalakad lang po, travel na po yun. Between two distant geographical location. Example, from dito ka sa Manila, going to example, dito sa Molino, o here in Bayanan, Molino, going, pumunta ka sa ibang area ng Molino, yun ay considered travel na po. Okay? Tourism is a, travel, but not all travel is a tourism because yung ibang purpose kasi ng travel hindi under ng tourism. Example, magta-travel ka dahil meron kang uuliin. So, police ka. So, hindi ka naman tourism, nagtatrabaho ka. Eh, syempre, kailangan mag-travel. So, it can be done by foot, bicycle, automobile travel, boat, bus, airplane, ship, or other means with or without luggage and can be one-way or round trip. So, the travel can also include relatively short stays between successive movement as in the case of tourism. So, pwede pong by foot, by bicycle. So, any mode of transportation. So, those are travel. Yan. Travel yan. Okay. So, travel ba yan? PBT tayo. Travel ba yan? Siyempre, hindi. Pandemic yan. Coronavirus pandemic. So, nag-stay siya sa home para makapag-travel tomorrow. So, hindi pa yung nagta-travel. Naisip niya mag-travel tomorrow. So, ngayon, ang ginagawa niya siguro, nagsa-sideline. Para makaipon siya, para makasurvive during pandemic. So, para makapag-travel siya tomorrow. Kasi, siguro yung kanyang bucket list ngayon because nagkaroon nga ng coronavirus pandemic, hindi na. Is this travel? So, naka-ano siya, yan, yung virtual. Okay? Yan. So, siyang ganyan. Tapos, nakikita niya yung destination na yan, yung attraction na yan. Okay. So, hindi yan travel. But it is called virtual travel. O, paano nangyari? Ano ba tanong ko? Is this travel? Hindi ko na sabi, is this virtual travel? Okay. So, nag-ano siya, nagbe-virtual traveling siya. Baka nga nakatulog na yan eh. Pero ito, ganun pa rin. Same lang din. Yan. Ano yan, nagta-travel yan. Alam niyo bakit nagta-travel yan? Nakabago. Yan, nakabago. Tapos, baka nakakapaglakad yan. Di ba, na-imagine niya. So, yung foot niya, nakakapaglakad na siya. So, ilang distance siya na yung nailakad niya. That's, nagkakapag-travel siya. Yung isa kasi, relax kanina eh. So, virtual travel, talaga nagagamit din niya yung boat travel. Hindi lang siya nagbe-virtual, nakakapaglakad na siya. Nagta-travel na rin siya. Okay, is this travel? Yes, that's called space travel or space tourism, and it is the most expensive type of travel. So, maybe in the future, yan, makapag-activity na rin in outer space, yan. So, that's why nga ngayon yung nilababas na ayan, yung boarding pass na ayaw na gusto nila makapunta ng na pinalabas ng NASA o National Aeronautics and Space Administration na ang dami nag-fill up na gusto na makapunta ng Mars. Okay. So, for space travel. Okay? Now, because of the coronavirus pandemic, it is very important thing makapag-face mask. So, syempre, may mga country na ngayon na nag-open na rin ng tourism. Nag-restart na ng tourism. Like in Dubai, ngayon, nag-accept na sila ng mga turista kahit pa paano. So, nakakapag-enjoy na. Pero dapat may face mask. In the Philippines, hindi lang face mask ang kailangan. Kailangan may face shield. So maybe example sa July, nung July ganito yung ngayon yung IATF meron na tayong face shield o maybe in September umuulan na ganyan na. Sa susunod ganyan na tayo sa October. Baka November mukha na tayong astronaut at nagmukha ka ng Power Ranger noong December and maybe pag hindi pa rin wala pa rin vaccine in this year, maybe in 2021 lalo pa nagigpit ang IATF, baka maging ganito tayo. Maybe in 2021 maging ganito. Yan, matindi na yan. So, sigurado naman, hindi na tayo magkakaroon ng COVID. Okay. So, okay. Next, elements of travel. So, distance, it is a measure that has been used to distinguish travel away from us. It's a measure distinguish travel away from us. So, from home, going to example, pupunta ka na Amerika. So, base dun sa distansya, ano yung sasakyan mo? At base dun sa miles, yun yung kung mas malayo, mas mahal ang bayad. Siyempre, kung malayo yan, sasakay ka na aeroplano, mahal ang pamasahe. Pero kung malapit lang, pwede ng jeep, pwede ng maglakad. That's distance. Length of stay, it's based on the days of hours or night or stay in the destination to classified as tourist or excursionist. So, the days or hours stay. So, example, kung hours ka lang doon, di ka mag-overnight, you're excursionist. I told you, pag overnight, tourist. Residence or origin of the traveler, it is important where people live. That's very important in residence or origin of the traveler. Where people live, saan sila na residente. Number one, kailangan po na sa passport na lamang sa ang origin traveler. Okay, yun yung kasi pinaka-point of your origin going to the destination. Okay, and then the purpose of travel. What is the purpose of travel? Maybe visiting friends and relatives, or visiting your jowa, visiting your family, visiting friends, and maybe attending conventions, seminars, and meeting, or MICE. Business purposes. Or example, you're a businessman, you're going to create a new business branch in this so nakakapag-contribute ka doon sa economic growth nila. So that's considered as purpose of travel. Outdoor recreation by hunting, fishing, boating, camping. Pero normally medyo illegal na po yung pag-hunting ngayon, pinagbabawal na po yan. So hindi na yan dapat kino-consider as outdoor recreation. So erase na yan. Delete. So hindi na po, delikado na pinagbabawal na po yung hunting. It is na yan, hindi magandang activity yan. Siyempre nakakasira, bawas yan ng ating wildlife, lalo na yung mga animals. Okay? Entertainment by sightseeing, by watching theaters such as K-pop generation in Viva Cafe, or watching Broadways, or watching in solar or sports activity like Olympic Games or Asian Games. They're considered as entertainment kung saan nare-relax ka. Personal, okay, maybe by family, medical, funeral, or wedding, and others. So, mode of transportation. So, ito yung additional element na lang sa travel kasi importante, may transportation. Okay, when you talk about transportation, it means to reach a destination and movement at the destination. So, it's all about reachability to the destination or accessibility going here, dun sa destination, anong mga modes of travel, modes of transportation, going to the destination, at dun sa mismo destination, para maikot mo yung iba't ibang attractions doon, kailangan mayroon doon any mode of transportation na pwedeng sakyan para ma-enjoy mo yung journey doon or ma-explore mo yung destination doon, yung mga different, para ma-explore mo yung mga different attraction doon sa destination na yun. So it means to reach a destination, or you're going to reach, or you're going to access the destination, and then you're going to reach also the different attractions inside that destination. Okay? So example sa Hong Kong, I'm going to visit Hong Kong. So, napunta sa Victoria City. And paano ko makakapunta ng Hong Kong Disneyland? Siyempre, sasakay ako ng MTR train. So, yun yung yun yung movement para movement doon sa destination para ma-reach ko yung attraction na yung theme park na yun or yung amusement park na yun. So, types by air, schedule plan or non-schedule flight, and other services. So, schedule or charter flights such as yan, yung mga Philippine Airlines, yun yung mga scheduled flight. So, or mga commercial airline. O non-scheduled, ito naman yung mga private planes. And then, pag sabi mong water, passenger lines, ferries, cruise, and others. Yan. So, pag sinabi mong cruise, it is vacation trip by ship. Vacation trip by ship. Not only riding a ship, para ka na rin nagbabakasyon, na-enjoy mo yung loob. Yun yung pinakamagandang mode of transportation in terms of water. Okay, and then the land, it is a railway, motor coach, or bus, and other public road transport, private vehicles, like yung mga, and then vehicle rental, and other means of land transport. So, yan. So, pag land, pwedeng road or rail. So, ang problema lang sa road, traffic congestion. So, that's the number one problem. Especially here in the Philippines, tayo yung hindi maganda, lalo na po sa EDSA. Pero during the pandemic, napatigil yan. And then, of course, railway, pwedeng LRT, MRT, or mga subway, that's a railway. Pag sinabi mo kasi may railway ka dun sa isang destination, sa isang country, maganda. Pag maganda yung railway system doon, maganda, ibig sabihin, develop yung lugar. Well-developed. Okay, so those are transportation mode of air, land, and sea, or air, land, and water. Okay, so what is tourist destination? So when you talk about tourist destination, it is geographical unit which the tourist visits and where he stays. Okay? Geographical unit kung saan nagbibisita ang isang tourist or visitors at saan siya nag-stay. Okay? It may be a village, a town, a city, or a district, or a region, an island, a country, or continent which is marketed or marketed as a place for tourists to visit. So, lahat yan ay consider as destination. Maybe a village, example ng village, yung BF Homes Village, which is yung pinaka-largest in Southeast Asia. Okay, a town, example, yung mga municipality, syudad, example, Quezon City or City of Manila, district, example ng district, Akihabara District sa Tokyo, example sa region, Cagayan Valley Region, pwede ring island, mga island destination like Palawan, like Indonesia, or mga islets that's considered as destination. Okay, pwede rin mga kontinente, yung buong continent that's considered as tourist destination. For a country itself, that's considered as tourist destination. Okay, so according to the UNWTO, United Nations World Tourism Organization, okay, based dun sa review, para sa barometer publication, as of 2019, ang pinaka most visited countries, destination, or most visited countries in the world, as of 2019, is France, the city of love and the city of lights. So 86.9 million people. And then the Spain, the second one. Actually, natalo ng isang beses ng Spain and France because of dun sa Barcelona due to the Olympics. So, yun. Pero nabalik din. Always France ang nag-i-stay, nag-maintain as talagang most visited country. Talagang well-demand itong lalo na yung mga market nila from US and then from Asian mga tao sa Asia. Yan, talagang lahat naman tayo, they want to see the Eiffel Tower, they want to experience the honeymoon there. That's France, okay? And then, of course, the USA, which is 76.9 million people, famous for Hollywood, Hollywoodland, yan, New York City, yan. Tsaka maganda pa dito, isa sa mga dahilan din, because of yung mga sports nila dito, madalas, ang lalaki kasi ng mga sports events nila dito. Like, yung NBA live, talagang bumibisita para mapanood yung NBA. Tsaka yung mga laban minsan ni Pacquiao dyan sa Las Vegas in Mandalay Bay. And then yung yung mga wrestling entertainment, ang lalaki talaga ng mga event dyan. And then UFC, grabe. Yan din yung nakakatulong para ma-encourage yung, ma-motivate yung mga tourists to visit this USA. And then, of course, China. Yun, because of the Grateful Chinese, ang dami kasi mga, ang dami kasi mga UNESCO World Heritage Sites here. Actually, ito yung pinakamaraming UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is the China. And then, the Italy, yan din, marami din mga heritage sites o UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So, that's why ang daming, they're visiting those heritage destinations. Okay, and then of course the Mexico, then the United Kingdom, the Turkey, Germany, and of course in Southeast Asian country, the only most visited countries in Southeast Asia, in ASEAN, is the Thailand. So that's amazing, Thailand talaga. Alam mo kung bakit? Aside dun sa maganda na yung mga yung mga natural attractions, yung mga in-offer nila activity. Also, isa sa mga nakaka-motivate sa tao because of their idol culture industry. Kilala dyan yung BNK48 or yung Bangkok 48. So, ang galing kasi ng entertainment doon sa Thailand. At marami pa pong iba. Kaya ito yung reason bakit maraming bumibisita sa Thailand. That's amazing Thailand. So, ito lang talaga. As of now, COVID-free na sila. COVID-free na rin itong Thailand na to. At na-enjoy na nila ang mga activities doon sa Thailand. So, yun. Inggit talaga mga Philippines. Ang Pinoy ngayon. Kaya kakainggit po, no? So, attractions, so those are basic, punta tayo sa mga basic factors of tourist destination. So, those are A's of tourism destination. So, the first attraction may be sites or events which entice visitor to visit a destination. Okay, sites or events which entice visitors to visit a destination. It may be natural or cultural attraction. Okay, mga heritage site consider as attraction yan. So, meaning, there are two types of attraction. Site attraction, one in which the destination itself has appeal. So, site attraction, so pwedeng natural or cultural. Pag natural, mga topographies ito, mga topography, like mountains, hills, volcanoes, beaches, at yung mga different mga yung mga topography, they're considered as natural site attraction. Pag sinabi mo namang cultural site attraction, pwedeng man-made po ito, maybe building, historical, architectural. Okay, that's site attraction. So, example, Port Santiago, it's considered historical. Mga holiday camps, theme parks, or Disneyland, this is a theme park attraction. Okay, or marami pa pong iba. Basta mostly pag cultural, man-made din eh. So, man-made. Okay, that's a cultural attraction. Pag sinabi mong event attraction, actually, pwede rin siyang natural or cultural ang isang event. Kasi, example, yung mga disaster, like yung mga volcanic eruption, yung aurora borealis, yan ay pwedeng consider as natural event attraction. Pag sinabi mo namang cultural event attraction, ito yung mga festivals, ito yung mga theaters, mga mga expo or mga Japanese cosplaying, ayan, and so on. So that's event. Okay? So ibig sabihin, namomotivate sila na bisitahin yung mga yung mga primary attractions such as yung mga mountains, yung mga buildings that's site, or pwedeng nakakapag-motivate to watch concerts, to enjoy the festivals and so on. So is this an attraction? Of course, nasabi ko na nga festival, the Mascara Festival in Bacolod City, the City of Smiles, kaya nagiging City of Smiles, yan ay considered as attraction kasi akatrap talagang pumunta sa Bacolod. Okay? This a festival attraction under event. Ito, of course, attraction po yan yung St. Augustine Church in Paway in Ilocos Norte. So yan, Earthquake Baroque Church na yan. Yan, napakaganda pong destination yan sa Ilocos Norte. So, of course, this is historical. Yun, religious to, religious attraction yan. Okay, here, this historical attraction, Daginaldo Shrine in Kawit, Cavite. This is considered as attraction. Ito po, attraction din po yan. That's called food attraction kasi one of the factors din na bumibisita sa Japan is to experience the kasi ang daming different types of ang pagluluto din ng sushi. So yun yung and then ramen and so on. Yun yung mga naging attraction. Yun yung nakakapag-motivate sa tao para bisitahin yung isang destination. And then of course, Disneyland, the theme park is considered as attraction, especially example the Disneyland California in Anaheim, California, the first and the largest amusement park in the world. Okay, the first Disneyland. Okay, and of course, about sila itong miyembro ng MNL48, yung MNL48, yung first the first idol, I mean yung idol group here in the Philippines, yung MNL48 na yan. Okay, they are considered as attraction too kasi number one, nakakapag-motivate, nakakapagbigay sila sa tao ng entertainment, nagiging attraction tuloy sila. Pero ang tag sa kanila ay under sila ng idol industry. Idol industry. So, yun. Nagiging attraction tuloy sila. At talagang pinagkakagastosan sila. That is called a commodification. Talagang yung mga tao nagko-consume talaga ng pera para lang makamayan sila, para lang makapag-picture sa kanila, para lang mapanood yung sayo nila. Lahat yan ay it's all about commodification. So, yun, ang industry na yan. So, still, attraction yun kasi nagkakaroon ka ng social interest na para ma-meet sila na kahit galing ka pa sa Cebu or sa Bohol, you're going to visit that place in Centuries, especially in Movie Stars Cafe, para lang mapanood to. That's attraction. Still an attraction yan. Kasi it gives purposes that's motivational purposes sa tao para makita sila. Okay, and also here, this is a beach, Boracay Beach. It is considered as attraction. So, na-rehabilitate yan, rehabilitated noong 2018. Now, maganda na. Nabalik na yung ganda, yung scenery, yung crystallized water, tapos masasabi din may mga turtles daw na nakikita na ulit, talagang refreshing na talaga ulit, nag-revert na yung Boracay. And of course, the 1,776 hills, the topography, the chocolate hills, the 1,776 exact chocolate hills in Bohol, or yung kung conical shape yan is 1,268 hills. So consider as attraction yan in Bohol. Okay? So amenities or facilities, it includes accommodation, food, local transport, and communications and entertainment. So lahat ng mood, lahat ng accommodation, yung food na ino-offer, yung local transport doon, all of that are under amenities or facilities. So ito, example, itong Okada. Yan, accommodation yan. Yan yung building. And then those are facilities. And may mga amenities po dyan. Accessibility, it means having regular and convenient of transport in terms of time, distance to the destination from the originating country at a reasonable price. So are you going to access, are you going to reach the destination by using any mode of transportation? Kung ano yung pwedeng transportation para ma-reach yung isang, lalo na sa mga exotic island, lalo na kung Batanes yan. Ito lang ang pwedeng accessibility going to Batanes. Yung British Aerospace ng Skyjet. So nga lang, medyo may kamahalan niya kasi nga ang Batanes, yun yung consider as ecotourism destination yan. So maybe ano yan talagang iniingat-ingatan yan ngayon. At actually ngayon, base sa ano ng IATF, wala pang COVID case diyan sa Batanes. So talagang mahigpit ang pagpasok ngayon diyan, lalo nagmahal ang talagang hindi makapasok diyan. So, siyempre, maganda din ma-experience yung Ibatan. Okay? Yung makapag-interact ka sa mga Ibatan. And of course, the ancillary services, this is the last case of tourist destination. So these are the marketing development and culminating activities in a destination provided to the consumer and the industry through local board. So it's all about marketing development na pinoprovide dun sa destination. It's all about culminating activity na sumusuport doon sa destination na para mas makilala yung promotional style ng destination, yung destination marketing, lahat yan ay under support. Lahat ng sumusuport doon sa destination na yun para mas makilala. That's ancillary service. Ano pa? Pag sinabi mo pang ancillary service, it means the extra services related to travel and tourism. Without ancillary services, the holiday wouldn't be complete. Many travel agents offer ancillaries to their clients and they make good commission of this and services. So parang extra ano to, extra product. Example sa tour package na ino-offer ng isang tour operator na binibenta ng isang travel agency. Example, yung insurance doon, walang naka-include na insurance. So that's considered as extra service or ancillary yun. So ano ba yung mga ancillary services? So these are travel insurance. Na kasi normally, pag nag-o-offer ng tour package, base naman kasi sa gusto ng ng turista or ng kliyente kung mag-a-avail siya ng travel insurance. Okay, minsan hindi sila nag-a-avail, pero of course, as much as possible, lalo na kung educational tours yan, kailangan ng travel insurance. Car hire or car rental. So, yun, isa sa mga support industry po yan na pinoprovide po sa isang destination, lalo na po sa mga for family, maganda po yan. Money or foreign exchange, of course, lalo na paano po sila makakabili kung dollar po yung kailangan may foreign exchange doon, isang destination. Airport parking company, like yung ito sa may yung park and fly. Okay, may park and fly doon, and then sample ako, magatin sa permis sasakyan ako, ipaparado ko yung sasakyan ko doon sa park and fly, and then may shuttle service ako doon going to the airport. That's airport parking company. Yun yung visa noon. Okay, in park and fly. Personal luggage loss insurance, of course, kailangan po yan. Yung mga luggage loss insurance. And then, of course, tour guide. Yung service ng tour guide po ay ano po yan. Actually, nagiging isa rin yan sa mga ancillary services na pinaprovide sa tourism tour guide. Siyempre, for assistance po, kailangan assistance and then providing information. Kasi it's up to you naman kung gusto mo magkaroon ng sarili mong tour, magkaroon ka ng tour guide. Siyempre, pag nag-avail ka ng tour sa isang tour operator, automatic may tour guide, lalo na kung educational. Pero pwede ka naman mag-avail ng tour package. Example, independent ka, wala tour guide. It's up to you yun. How can you pronounce this? It's chauffeur. Chauffeur. No? Chauffeur. Chauffeur service. Example po, ito yung mga yung mga empleyado na nagmamaneho ng mga limousine. Example po, mayaman akong negosyante, tapos pwede akong mag-hire ng isang chauffeur, dito yung tawag sa tao, na siya yung magmamaneho sa akin para ihatid ako sa akin mga business meeting. Example, bumisita ako dun sa Paris for may conference meeting, and then nag-hire ako ng nag-rent ako ng isang car. Syempre, kailangan ko ng chauffeur. Siya yung magmamaneho para sa akin. Kasi ayoko magmaneho eh. Gusto ko may magmamaneho. That's chauffeur service. At tawag sa tao nagda-drive ng mga limousine or mga any cars, chauffeur. And of course, automobile insurance. So those are, these are ancillary service na which is extra service na ino-offer sa isang destination. So let's review. So it means having regular and convenience of transport in terms of time distance to the destination from the originating country at a reasonable price. A, attraction. B, amenities. C, accessibility. D, ancillary service. So what's the answer? Please comment below. The answer, accessibility. Among of these are national tourism. A. Clark, Pampanga to Cebu to Davao. B. Manila to Jakarta, Indonesia to Bali. C. Kuala Lumpur to Manila to Laguna. Pasay Samar to Tacloban, Leyte. So what's the answer? Please comment below. The answer, Manila to Jakarta, Indonesia to Bali. So actually, the Bali, Indonesia, it is located, ang pinaka-airport niya doon ay Denpasar. Okay, so Bali is located in Indonesia. It is a geographical unit which the tourist visits and where he stays. A. Tourist destination. B. Transportation. C. Tourism. D. Travel. Please answer, comment below here. Comment below. Paki-comment na lang in below. Okay, the answer, A. Tourist destination. So it's easy, no? Combination, it is combination of inbound tourism and domestic tourism. A. International tourism. B. Outbound tourism. C. National tourism. D. Internal tourism. So answer. Answer, internal tourism. And for the last question, it means the extra services related to travel and tourism. Very easy. Attraction, amenities, accessibility, or ancillary service. Okay, answer, ancillary service. So if you have any questions or if you have some questions, kindly comment na lang po below in my channel. So do not hesitate to ask me. I'm going to answer that, all of your questions. So I hope you learn a lot. Yun, so that's all. So I hope lahat ng tourism first year natuto sa aking lecture vlog about introduction to tourism under Macroperspective in tourism and hospitality. So if you have some questions, do not hesitate to ask me. So I'm willing to answer all of your questions. So pag may mga gusto pa kayo matutunan, and then if you want to suggest more topics na gusto niyo pang matutunan about tourism or in history or business management, so you may request your topic and going to discuss that for you. So by the way, I'm Professor Jadefortis, Pulongbarit. So thank you for watching, and do not forget to share, like, and of course, number one is to subscribe my channel. So see you to my other sa mga iba pang mga lecture vlog ko. So please support my channel and please support this lecture vlog. So I hope you will, ang dami niyo sanang natutunan po. Yun. So thank you very much. So goodbye.